Hello friends! Probably every person who loves gaming thought at least once that it will be cool to become a professional gamer. What the job way you spend your time playing your favorite game sounds like a dream job. In fact, it turns out that cybersports, like any other profession, is complex, requires self-discipline, endurance and considerable efforts. So let's be honest, if you watch this video, it's unlikely you are desperately want to become a professional gamer. But if you want to impress your friends and relatives with your skills, you need to learn from your best. That's why we have picked for you all sort of tricks that professional gamers use. Let's get in out of first of all. Let's talk about equipping the gaming space. Of course, we won't tell you that you should throw out your old computer and replace it with a new super productive. That you should upgrade the hardware every couple of months. That are more simple and affordable ways to improve the games. Before, you probably know all professional gamers' advice to forget about the wireless mouse and keyboard. According to them, they have more response time than the wired ones. A normal person will think that this is a trifle, but for professional gamer, these are very important. In addition, the pros recommend not to use the mouse with a bunch of buttons. They look like impressive, of course, but they are actually not the usual. If anything, they only distract. The ideal gaming mouse has two buttons at a wheel, right? You don't need anything else for the keyboard. The requirements are not so straight. Most pro gamers prefer mechanical keyboards that are also fans of membrane models. So first of all, trust your own feelings. Use the keyboard that seems most comfortable to you. Okay, so we are done with the mouse and keyboard. Do you think we can move to other points? Now, few people know that buying the right mouse is just half the case. It's important to make sure that the wire doesn't cling to anything, otherwise the mouse can fail at the mouse screw movements. To make the wire move freely, gamers use a special holder. Its approximate cost is $50. However, if you don't want to spend money on such a device, you can make it with your own hands. Use a blender clip or another way to improve the quality of gaming in a more or less easy way is to adjust the monitor and the game itself. FPS is very important. If you want to shoot accurately and react quickly to the actions of the opponent. In case if you didn't know, it means frames per second. On a computer or TV screen, in a movie, a second usually contains 20 to 30 frames, or computer games are quite another matter. The ideal indicator is 60 FPS plus. It provides a smooth optical picture for the game. It depends on a large number of factors. For example, on productivity, professional gamers advise if you don't have a very powerful computer, don't set the game settings to maximum. Why? Well, because the higher the quality of graphics, the heavier the computer is loaded with the mains and greatest the probability that all the most critical movements that FPS will decrease. This is likely to prevent you from shooting accurately, dodging or hiding. If you are thinking about changing the monitor or decide to dig into its settings, pay attention to the hertz. This is think screen refresh rate, and the higher the rates, the smoother the picture you will get. If you play a dynamic game and everyone is constantly moving around you, you will notice that difference between 60 Hz and 120 or 144 Hz. And suddenly, if you are hit targets more often, finally, we can grow from accessories to another equipments of the gamer's place. The chair, if you play with just half an hour a day, you probably don't need a special chair. However, long game lovers spending at least 2 or 3 plus hours on a computer, a game chair is not a win, but a necessity indeed. A large number of pros can use Dexter or clinch chairs. That's why they're ergonomic and therefore provide an optimal position of the body. Has it ever happened to you too? After a long sitting at the computer, your back or neck begins to hurt? This is a perfect normal reaction of our body. That's not okay. If you need to play for a long time without losing concentration, therefore the chairs are designed to reduce the load upon the spine and to prevent pain. In such an armchair may seem uncomfortable, but this is only because the body is not accomplished to the right position. Almost all the elements of the chair are adjustable. The position of the pillows and the heights are the rotation of the armrest. The height of the chair itself, because the unusual shape of the chair, if you choose the wrong model, you don't be comfortable at all. Therefore, manufacturers produce chairs of different size, so that every gamer can find the right one for him or herself. Do you want to play for hours and not get tired? Then you know what you should buy the next thing. We advise you to pay attention. The mouse pad during the game, the hands movement should be sharp and the fast. Surface not smooth enough under the mouse can create critical problems for important movements of the game. That's why professional gamers prefer to use special mouse pads. As a rule, they have uneven uniform surface and a rubber base which prevents slipping movement. Often we can boast huge pads covering almost half the table. Such dimensions are chosen for a reason. Firstly, the keyboard on such a rub is convenient to move. Even with one hand, for some gamers, this is important. Secondly, the most unpleasant thing can happen to a gamer during the game is insufficient space for the mouse. You need to turn around sharply, examine the place you move your hand to one side, but there is nowhere to move. To the move has ended, a professional love simply will not let this happen, and besides the mouse moves faster on a good pad and the sensor is more sensitive to the changing position of the hand and tricks. We are about to show you is rather controversial, but we decided to tell you about it anyway. Who knows, maybe it will help you someday. Just remember that you are all different, which means that the something can work for some people and not work for others. Some professional gamers claim that they quickly shoot at opponents and always hit the targets. Not only because they spend dozens of thousands of hours playing the game, the secret is practicing on simulators for reaction and accuracy. They are all different. The most popular ones are Soul and Aim Hero. But in fact, there are a lot of similar games. All of them work on the same principle. You just need to quickly click on the icon and higher the level in the game. The faster how to act. Sometimes gamers use the simulators before the game to tune in, and so to speak warm up, but you know, there are pros. You don't do something like they are generally believe that reaction simulators are stupid. You need to train only in your game to solve. Think for yourself or try to play. If you improve a skill of gaming, great. If you don't, then leave it and don't waste your time. You can try and do something method which is used not by all but a quite of large number of professional gamers. The fact is that in one-person shooters it's very important to keep all space around. You're under control for all. You should have an excellent overview, but it is simply impossible to achieve it. If you only move your wrist, use the camera changes its positions, but this is not enough. There are still blind spots on the sides, and to see that there are, you need to make excess hand movements in order not to face a similar problems. Some pros may have their arms from the elbow. By the way, their playing style requires a large pad under their mouse. This is not the only problem. Often players have nowhere to rest their elbow. So not only is the pad too small, but the whole table there is a way out of the situation, and here it is, you need to sit down at the table corner. Why this position of the body provides enough space to rest the elbow and for the movements of the hand. Finally, we are prepared tricks from real hardcore gamers. Do you want to improve your gaming skills at the coast and nothing will stop you with this case? The following advice is for the first one is usual in case you are slightly overheated. Well, this happens sometimes. You are sitting playing for a whole day, you are tired and it seems that you have started to think with difficulty, not professional gamers. In this case, just quit playing and go get on air, however rest in an indurable luxury. For professional gamers to refresh themselves, sprinkle cold water on the face and so come out with a more interesting way. Jordan Gilbert better knows than anything uses the time before. The game for cooling, he puts a bag on ice on his head. Yes, you don't miss quite an extreme ways. It seems to us, but the cold helps to cheer up and bring down the degree of heat. During the game, it can sometimes be very hot. And one more tip, after cooling your head, don't forget to warm up your hands after the dry fingers can unlikely to fall on the right keys and quickly click on the mouse buttons. Well, on the last trick for today, which you can use in the games to resort to all, you don't even have to prepare an advice, the game is on your post. And in no case you be distracted and even look away from the screen, you are full combat readiness. However, your mouse is not, it's kind of stuck, doesn't respond to movements in any other situation. You could solve the problems very simply. Take a napkin and wipe the sensor. It will particular situation will lick the sensor. That's what Jasser Rexel did during CSGO. We are sure that this method really works and will help to get rid of the dust that are stuck in the sensors, but please only use this life hack in the most distraught situation. Okay, you know, microbes in germs and all the stuff, amazing gadgets, upcoming technologies, incredible inventions and other cool stuff related to high tech. Stuff related to high tech on TechFrame. Subscribe. You want progress? If the link is on the screen and in the description. Thanks for watching. Please like, share the video in social networks and we will be right back to you as fast as we can. Thank you very much.